1. Location: open area near access point, entry point, number 1. Hazard: mechanical, reverse movement of vehicles transporting building materials to the site without hazard beacon, reversing horns and banksmen. Consequence: there is a risk of workers, pedestrians, being struck by reversing vehicles causing serious injury and even death where there is no reversing horns to alert pedestrian. Vehicle reversing without banksman guidance can lead to collision with other vehicles, properties and workers. Visitors can cause property damages, serious physical injury and fatality. 2. Location: access point, entry point, number 1. Zone A. Hazard: workplace, workers and staffs were using a uncovered access to enter the under construction buildings where the block work, plastering works etc. in progress. Consequence: there is a risk of workers getting injured from falling materials from upper floors can cause serious physical injuries, fracture and fatality. 3. Location: emergency exit route number 4 starting from egress point to the corner of the building at Zone B external area. Hazard: workplace. Wooden boxes, pellets and plywood are observed at the route to assembly point. Incoming construction materials like vinyl flooring rolls and GRC cladding components are found stacked in the exit route, which may create a bottlenecking situation during the emergency or fire alarm. Consequence: it will cause tripping to the workers with loose items like plywood, who are using this path, causing fracture, broken bones and fatality to workers. This will cause slow exit of personnel during emergency evacuation, and congestion may lead to person falling and running over by fellow workers. This will lead to fatality or serious physical injuries to workers. 4. Location: outdoor sports field, light pole foundation. Hazard: mechanical, a 6 by 6 meter excavation pit, 3.2 meter deep, has been made for floodlight foundation in sandy silty soil without proper slope, where the heavy construction vehicles were working nearby. Consequence: the sides of the excavated pit may collapse due to instability caused by improper slope, can lead to workers inside the pit shall be entrapped in soil. The construction vehicles may fall down due to instability of soil, will cause major injuries, disabilities and fatal to workers who working inside the excavation pit. Improper slope may violate the local regulatory requirements, which lead to penalty from local authorities. Five. Location: outdoor sports field, light pole foundation. Hazard: hazardous substance. Workers are using flame torch to heat and stick bituminous waterproofing membrane layer, which produce fumes and smokes. Where the workers are working without proper respiratory equipments and other PPEs like goggles, hand gloves etc., can cause a respiratory problems, heat injuries. Consequence: the worker is prone to burn injury caused by direct contact with flame. The workers may affected by nausea and suffocation and respiratory problems, lung cancer due to long exposure due to fume inhalation. 6. Location: underground water tank at external area near multipurpose hall. Hazard: hazardous substance. Glass reinforced plastic, GRP, lining is in progress inside the underground tank, confined space, where the work has been carried out without supervision and ventilation. This GRP lining will produce toxic gases during the installation, which is harmful to workers. Consequence: there is a risk from low oxygen levels and hazardous fumes and toxic gases from chemicals, resin and solvents, due to no ventilation provided in underground tank, which can affect workers' health upon inhalation, like nausea and unconsciousness or asphyxiation, drowning, dizziness, fatigue and respiratory problems. 7. Location: multipurpose hall floor. Hazard: workplace. There is a sudden level change of 100 mm between the concrete screed flooring for badminton court and surrounding areas. Due to this uneven level will lead to slip, trip and fall hazard to workers. Consequence: workers might trip over due to sudden change in levels, causing physical injury like broken bones, especially in hand, wrist or arm. 8. Location: corners at the back side of main building, Zone A external area. Hazard: mechanical. Moving vehicles and construction machinery like hydraulic crane, JCB excavator and loaders at corners and backside of the main building where those spots were not visible to drivers and pedestrian, which is blind spot. Consequence: there is a greater risk of being struck and running over by moving vehicles and construction machinery, causing serious injury, disabilities and fatality to workers. 9. Location: concrete cubes storage tank near services block. Hazard: housekeeping. Stagnant water is found in the cubes storage tank with algal growth and foul smell. Consequence: workers coming into the contact with the water or entering the tank to collect concrete cubes are susceptible for bacterial and fungal infects to skin and other parts of body. 10. Location: staircase well at Zone A, 1st, 3rd floor. Hazard: edge protection. Guardrails are not provided at the staircases, which are used by workers for accessing various floors. Consequence: this may cause workers to fall from the unguarded edge of the staircase, causing serious physical injuries, fracture and fatality. The materials or tools may fall down can cause a serious injuries like broken bones, fracture and death to workers who working under that staircase area. 11. Location: room at Zone B, ground floor. Hazard: fire hazard. Chemicals like paint, thinner, vinyl adhesives are found stored in a 8x 10-meter room in ambient temperature, whereas as per the manufacturer's recommendations, temperature of 25 degrees Celsius must be maintained for storage. Because of uncontrolled temperature can deteriorate the chemicals and lead to explosion, smoke or fire. Consequence: improper storage of chemicals in the storage room can lead to deteriorate and lead to fire, explosion and toxic gas formation, which may result into property damage, burn injuries or fatality to workers who accessing the storeroom can affected by respiratory issues due to inhalation of toxic gases and smoke. 12. Location: auditorium roof, steel structure. Hazard: fire hazard. Welding of steel structure elements are carried out in roof and welding sparks are falling down, where wooden flooring materials and retractable seats cushions were stored below, which is easily flammable material. Consequence: sparks and metal particles ejected as a result are directly falling onto the stored wooden flooring and retractable seats cushion can ignite a fire, which may lead to fire on the property and serious burn injury or fatality to workers who working in that area. 13. Location: Zone A 1st floor. Hazard: fire hazard. Electrical distribution boxes, DB, are not protected, open, and workers can be seen plugging into power supply themselves and improper connections made by them. Consequence: due to improper connection may lead to short circuit or excess load may result into fire. It may damage the entire property and workers may affected by fire and smoke like burn, dizziness, fatigue, unconsciousness and fatality. This creates the risks of the workers getting electric shock or electrocution may lead to cardiac arrest, fatality, muscle, tissue and nerve destruction, thermal burn from contact of electrical source. 14. Location: library room at Zone A ground floor corridor. Hazard: electrical. Electrical cables are drawn on the floor from the socket board for fan and temporary lights where the workers were moving around that area. Consequence: The trailing cables can cause workers' legs get entangled and tripping over as a result of this and cause physical injury like fracture or bone breaking and even fatality. Electrical cable may damaged by the workers may lead to electrical shock to workers, thermal burn from contact of electrical source. 15. Location, service block at external area backside of Zone B. Hazard, hazardous substance. Loud noise generated due to dismantling of the concrete beam by handheld vibratory hammer, jackhammer, without the suitable PPEs like ear plug, goggles, face mask and hand gloves and broken concrete piece can hit the workers. Consequence: workers and operators exposed to long durations can suffer from temporary or permanent noise-induced hearing loss, nerve damage and complications like tinnitus. Broken concrete pieces from the breaking can hit to any body parts like face etc., may lead to physical injuries. 16. Location, service block at external area backside of Zone B. Hazard, workplace. Vertical dowels, steel from raft, for precast walls are present on the grade slab up to a height of 500 to 600 mm without any protection like covering of sharp edges and / barricade that area. Consequence: there is a risk of cut, penetration to body injuries and even death as a result of workers falling over it. 17. Location, reception block at ground floor. Hazard, hazardous substances. Generation of large amounts of dust in the workplace due to operation of concrete scraping machine for correction of concrete floor level, where the workers working without respiratory mask. Consequences: respiratory problems and long-term exposure can lead to lung cancer due to inhaling the dust produced by concrete scraping machine. 18. Location, third floor, roof, Zone B. Hazard, workplace. The shuttered formwork used for slabs and columns are found lying on the floor with rusted nails still on. Consequence: it can cause serious plantar puncture injuries to workers' feet due to stepping on it and physical contact while handling, leading to puncture wound and lead to tetanus infection. 19. Location, classrooms at Zone A on first floor. Hazard, ergonomic. Block work installation is going on for internal and external walls, which requires manual handling of 16 to 18 kg solid blocks, and lifting to lay on the wall. Consequence: masons and other workers are prone to suffer from shoulder, neck and back pain due to manual handling. 20. Location, Zone A first and second floor near lift area. Hazard, edge protection. A 1.2x 1 meter opening sleeve, opening, is observed on the slab for MEP services which is not barricaded may lead to workers fell down in the opening. Consequence: workers can fall into the opening and legs or body may get trapped causing physical injury, fracture, broken bone and even fatality. Materials or tools may fall down through this opening can injure like fracture, cut injuries and even death to workers working below. 21. Location, swimming pool hazard, workplace. Water is stored to full capacity of the pool, 1.8 meters max depth, for integrity testing and leakage detection, where the works were working nearby. Consequence: workers walking close to edges might fall, and those without knowledge of swimming may drown. 22. Location, corridor at ground floor Zone A. Hazard, hazardous substance. Primer coat of paint application is done using spray painting, where the painters using general-purpose face mask and spray machine producing paint fumes. Consequence: workers might inhale the mists, fumes of paint and develop nausea, headaches and respiratory diseases. Paint fumes may contact with workers' eye can lead eye irritation, eye burn and pain. 23. Location, corridor at ground floor Zone A. Hazard, ergonomic. False ceiling works are being carried by workers fixing gypsum boards with metal frame beneath slab while looking upwards position most of the time and also overreaching sometimes as the working platform is fixed. Consequence: this might cause musculoskeletal problems like neck and back pain due to longer periods of working in a look-up and standing position. 24. Location: external area near Zone A. Hazard: working at height. Tower scaffold up to second floor has been set up without breakers to carry out texture paint patch repair works, which cannot be connected or fixed securely to the wall. Consequence: the tower is at a risk of toppling over causing serious injury to workers. 25. Location: external open area between buildings Zone A and Zone B. Hazard: working at height. Dumping of construction waste from first and second floor is done throwing directly to the heap of undisposed waste on ground. Consequence: materials like metal and concrete lumps may rebound upon impact and hit workers in the vicinity causing injury like cut, penetration in body, fracture and even fatality. 26. Location: corridors and classroom areas at all levels. Observation: provision of sufficient lighting by means of portable tube light stands, which allows the workers to work efficiently and safely. 27. Location: all levels at building Zone A and B. Observation: provision of different type of fire extinguishers, water, dry powder and carbon dioxide with pressure gauge details filling. A sheet is also pasted on the wall giving details of trained firefighters in day and night shifts and emergency contact numbers. 28. Location: Zone A roof observation. Workers of air handling units and ducts are seen using ladders fitted with handrails and hooks on the top for connection. 29. Location: workers' dining area observation. The area is air-conditioned and hygienic conditions are maintained by employing 2 workers on job rotation like clean floors, and tables and daily removal of food waste. A washing station is provided for cleaning of cup, plates etc.
Please give comment and suggestions.
Thank you.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class.
Thank you.